Gee, did you hear Tara call Cecilia a rat face?
Yeah.
I just don't understand why we must call each other names.
Yeah, we are all beautiful regardless sizes and frames.
Don't laugh, entertain, and play games.
We must go cheer Cecilia. It's okay. Don't worry about the schoolwork. You are beautiful.
Wipe your tears, face your fears, and get to class.
Welcome to the Fighting Against Bullying show. Yep. With hosts Tina Pooh and Keith Floyd. Yo, no bullying, never bullying. We only make it friends. If you ain't down with that, then we ain't down with that. No bullying, never bullying. We only make it friends. If you ain't got my back, then like Ray, hit the road, Jack. Hit the road, Jack. Hit the road, Jack. Never bullying. Hit the road, Jack. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back. And don't you come back.
Welcome to Fighting Against Bullying, an innovative youth show created and designed to bring forth awareness about bullying and steps to take into stopping this really bad epidemic that's affecting our youth, our children, our tomorrow's leaders for change.
I know that's right, Tina. Our tomorrow's leaders for change. I love the sound of that. Knowing that 160,000 students miss school a day due to bullying, we're here to knock out this epidemic.
Yes.
1 out of 4 children are bullied at school on a daily basis. Students between 6th through 10th grade are likely to be involved in bullying. 90% of bullying cases, there was no adult intervention. That's why we're here. We need more adults on board with us to knock out this epidemic. The link between bullying and depression can extend to other problems: low self-esteem, anxiety, high rates of school absence. We need these children in school. Physical illness. Teens who commit suicide often suffer from depression. Low self-esteem affects learning, can lead to delinquencies, unhealthy relationships. Verbal bullying. 77% are bullied verbally. According to one large study, students have experienced these types of bullying: name calling, teasing, spreading rumors or lies, pushing, shoving, hitting, slapping or kicking, leaving out, threatening, stealing belongings, sexual comments, cyberbullying. These are mind-boggling statistics.
Darling statistics.
That's why we're here on the Fighting Against Bullying show, because we're going to knock out this epidemic bullying. We're going to get these numbers lowered. Y'all, welcome to another episode of Fighting Against Bullying.
What's up, everybody? My name is Raheem the Dream. Not D, but the, T-H-A, the way black people spell it. First of all, I am a comedian. I work for Lyft and I work for Uber. So, of course, if you did your math correctly, I still don't have a job. You know, actually, in kindergarten growing up, like, my dream was just to actually wish I had a girlfriend. Now that I'm 26, my new dream, of course, is wishing that I didn't live with my mom. Because, you know, she likes to bully me. Made me do stuff like take out the garbage, wash the dishes. You know, this mean stuff growing up as a kid. I remember actually in kindergarten, matter of fact, I used to get bullied because no girls would ever date me. Come to find out, only because I wasn't tall enough. You know, actually, my first girlfriend I ever had a crush on, word got around, and of course, she told my mom, and I actually got in big trouble, so I actually get my classes changed. But I asked myself, why would a teacher actually go and tell on a 6-year-old? Ain't that called tattletelling? Of course, growing up around my grandmama, I was definitely raised by her. She actually grew up in a very rough neighborhood. And of course, you know, the moniker for a very rough neighborhood was what you would call the projects. You know, everybody think we cousins because we all look alike. But everybody in the projects went by nicknames. You know the code. My brother went by Little Head because he didn't have no neck. My sister went by Blotty Dotty because she got more head than she got body. But my nickname in the projects was Tattleteller. Like, I really never knew what that meant, but I knew if you ever did something around me, I would go and tell my grandma on you. Also, my grandma's nickname in the projects was actually called OG. And everybody know in the hood, you know, OG is well respected and what it stands for. Old Granny. My granddaddy in the projects, his name was actually Mr. Barbecue because he used to barbecue absolutely anything and everything. I'm talking about barbecue shrimp, barbecue chicken, barbecue cupcakes, barbecue watermelon, barbecue shrimp, noodles, anything you name it, he barbecued. And you know, of course, like I said, my grandma, she was very religious. And you know, back in the day, our parents didn't play. You weren't allowed to cuss. You weren't allowed to say the S word like shut up or the B word like be quiet. And if you said real cuss words, then you would die. I remember one time I actually had 2 friends that came over my house every Sunday after church, because my grandma, she was in the Holy Spirit mood. My friends Tan would come over, and exactly. But they didn't understand really like the rules and regulations of my grandma's house. And Tan slipped around and said a cuss word. His name used to be Stan, but my grandma beat the S out of him for cussing. And exactly, I asked my grandma why she called him. And it's not that he did nothing wrong, but because, his breath smelled exactly like his butthole. Also, I want you to understand, I actually grew up in Pulaski, Tennessee. And those of you that know what the history of Pulaski, Tennessee is actually home of the Ku Klux Klan. So being a black kid growing up in Pulaski automatically signed you up for track and field. So by my environment, I'm a natural born athlete. I don't like to brag, Matter of fact, my high school actually had a cross-country run team, and I came in first place my freshman year a total of 8 times. And I wasn't even on the team. I was just trying to get home. Thank you so much.
Bull fever, bull fever. As I walk with honor, bullies chose me as a donor. My temperature rises as it reaches an all-time high. They poked me with the deadly needle. The tip was infected with a serious disease. Temporarily, my mind went into a blackout from the unexpectancy of the damage to the brain. When awakened, suddenly I realized the cause was unknown, but the effect was failure. The fever allowed my body to fight off the abnormal infection. Couple of days passed by, I reached toward the sky. Maybe there's a star to shed some light on an illness my body seems to fight. There's a reason why my name is on the bully's donors list of fame. The agencies couldn't figure it out. The world remained clueless. Puzzled by man, it was answered from above. I am bullied for a reason. This is my season. There's will inside of me that shines so bright, makes it obvious I can fight off any affection that comes my way. Yes, any infection that comes my way. Yes, I wear the daily armor of my higher power. Body needed a shower to cleanse the germs from my evil bullies. Evil bullies needed a shower to cleanse the evilness from my bullies. After the fact, the needle shots, the short-term pain didn't faze me. Just as I realized, as the animal bull is allergic to the color red, the angel from above showed me why I was diagnosed with bull fever, because I was the future star live on the red carpets.
Good evening. My name is Melissa McKnight. First of all, I got to say thank you to Tina Poole and Keith Floyd for having me here tonight. I have to say this is the first time that I'm actually grateful that I've been bullied most of my life, because now I got something to share with the little ones out there. Bullying to me is an initiation to the general cruelty that you're going to experience for most of your life. It's usually for circumstances that are out of your control. No one really consented to being born or having a social security number or having a credit score, you know what I mean? That's kind of bullying, you don't have any control over it. In my life, the bullying was always about being of small stature and also being black. To me, those were always great things. Like being small means I always win when I play hide and seek. And having a lot of melanin means I'm gonna do great in this climate change, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, bullying a lot of the time starts at home, even as a child. It can be your parents or your siblings. And then when you leave the house, go to school, it's people that call you their friend and also just the jerk who's trying to take your lunch money. And in my life on the playground, it was always like a boy calling me, "Shrimp! You're a shrimp!" Like he'd usually pick me last, when they split up the class and they pick the team members one by one. One day I was the last kid and I was like, "Hey, why'd you pick me last?" And he was like, "You're a shrimp!" And I was just like, actually, now that I'm reflecting on it, I'm a vegetarian and don't really eat shrimp. I used to think it was because of that line of poop on the back, but maybe it was all those guys calling me a shrimp on the playground. I'll have to think about that one some more. But anyway, it's not gender biased. Girls bullied me too. Some of my best friends in first grade, I laid down on the ground. They were like, let's play human jump rope. They grabbed me by the hands and the feet. They said, 1, 2, 3, and dropped me, I definitely trusted people a lot less after that incident. So I guess I'm here as living proof to tell you that, if you're being bullied right now, it's okay. You can make it. The first time I ever went to therapy I was kind of imagining committing suicide as a high schooler, and my mom took me to talk to someone, and I just learned that my life was so much more than what somebody said about me, about something that I don't have control over. And to me, I think everyone's born and brought to this realm to achieve a purpose. So maybe it's a better way to spend your life focusing on your purpose and what you're here to do than to, make other people feel bad about things they don't have control over, I just wish, other people could figure that out. But anyway, again, I heard about a young girl in Alabama recently who ended her life after only 9 years. And again, I'm just here to say that I acknowledge your pain. I'm here for you. I'd give you my contact number if that was safe, but, I'm believing you. I'm rooting for you. You can make it. Never give up. Never surrender. Okay? Okay, I'm Melissa McKnight. Hope you have a great night. See you soon. Maybe.
T is for termite.
I is for in the face.
N is for naturally ugly.
A is for all the time.
Tina, the termite.
You're Tina the termite, and it looks like you've been ran over by a car.
You sure look like I've been ran over by a car? I don't think so, because I'm naturally beautiful. Move out my way.
Yeah. Hey, this your boy No Res. Only you can be you. Yeah. And why you trying to be like somebody else? It's somebody that's trying to be like you. Think about that. And you wonder why no matter what you do, seem like you cannot fit in. Cause you were not designed to be a part of the line, and you were made to be different. So why do you choose to conform? Just settle for norms. When I tell you you're destined for greatness, but you're struggling torn. Should I be me or should I be you? Man, that's a question asked by the masses who were uncertain if they will be accepted. Rather be you so I don't get rejected. It's something about you unique that we all want to see. Can we just get a peek? Is that what you hiding so deep? Behind locking that key, you just want to be free. You got the will, you hostage, and he's begging for oxygen. Can you not hear him bleeding? Please don't make me be someone else again. Cause I got something to say, and I got something to share. We've tried everybody else, why can't I just be myself? Although you may not believe in yourself, but we still must try. Deep inside we have got these dreams, and we must not let them die. Not really living, passing time by, life full of regrets. But we see you every day, we still haven't seen you yet. Only you can be you. No matter what you try to do, there is nothing to prove. No one could be a greater you, spite of all that you do. I hope that you see
there's only one you that can do what you do.
There's only one you.
Only you can be you, and that should be plain to see. I got free, that's the truth. When I decided just to be me, what do I have to do to help you see?
There's only one you that can do what you do.
There's only one you. Yeah.
I believe that we all are unique, we are not the same. Hey, come on. And when we see the real you shine through, we'll be glad you came. And I know for sure it'll be a relief when we finally let go of someone else's identity. Then you can be you and I start to be me. Like wham, bam, I finally am making my own lane with my plan. Stop caring what people do think, and thank God it made me unique. It doesn't matter if they validate you. Some will love you and some is gonna hate you. Don't be afraid of the fate of that awaits you. Man, they do not have the power to downgrade you. So you think you ain't pretty enough, so you think you ain't smart enough, so you think you ain't strong enough, so you think you ain't tall enough. Let me tell you something, all that stuff, man, it's just meant to keep you from purpose. I pray you remember these verses. The world is so full of discouragement, so I'm hoping you find this encouraging. You do not have to do it like everyone, and that is the truth. Just because it look good and it work for some doesn't mean it's for you. See, there is no shortage of followers, but just turn on the news. We're looking for something different, and that difference is you being you. Yeah, no matter what you try to do, there is nothing to prove. No one could be greater than you, in spite of all that you do. I hope that you see.
There's only one you that can do what you do.
There's only one you. Only you can be you. And that should be plain to see. I got freak, that's the truth. When I decided just to be me, what do I have to do to help you see?
There's only one you that can do what you do.
Yeah. I believe that we all are unique, we are not the same. And come on. And when we see the real you shine through,
We'll be glad you came.
probably saying it's so hard to be me. I don't compare to the people that I see. Seems life for them is much better, and that's why you choose them instead of being you. Don't you know you are blessed by God? Give it your best, don't let's leave the rest to God. It's the way you can please everyone, and there was billions of people, you still the one. I know it seems they all doubt you, say plenty of bad things about you. How you feeling they better off without you, but they fail to mention they got doubts too. I know that the thought of you being yourself makes you nervous, but your differences help you to reach and fulfill your purpose. Man, there's so many songs inside of you. It's so many dreams, so many things I've seen you wanna do. You got a book to write, and you about to catch a flight. You taking off tonight, and you got some fear to fight, and you about to save a life. So go change the world, be unique in this earth. Man, just do what you do. While I make an introduction. Welcome to you being you. You. Welcome to you being you. You. Yeah. Only you can be you. No matter what you try to do, there is nothing to prove. No one could be greater than you, in spite of all that you do. I hope that you see.
There's only one you that can do what you do.
There's only one you. Only you can be you. And that should be plain to see. I got freak, that's the truth. When I decided just to be me, what do I have to do to help you see?
There's only one you that can do what you do.
And welcome to you. And welcome to you being you. And welcome to you. And welcome to you being you. Welcome to the real you. The you that you didn't want nobody to see because you felt like you wouldn't be accepted. But it's time to stop putting on for people, take off the mask. And if they can't accept you for who you was really created to be, that was never meant to be in your life. So stop trying to do it like everybody else and make your own lane that was created for you. Welcome to you being you.
Hello, boys and girls. This is our plea to stop bullying.
Too many of our friends' lives are being destroyed.
So we are representing boys and girls from all across America.
We're asking you to join forces with us to stop this bullying.
Let's be kind and respectful to each other. Let's get to know each other.
Let's learn from each other.
We are the future.
This next segment, Road to Incarceration, a road we all want to avoid. We discuss the link between bullying, violence, and incarceration.
Hello, Commander Graves. How you doing?
All right, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. It's great to have you here on the Fighting Against Bullying show.
Thanks for having
and
me.
we're going to get straight into these questions. Teen violence is on the rise in Nashville. Tell us what you think are some of the contributing factors.
Well, some of the contributing factors, in talking to some of the people that live in my area, they tell me that social media plays a large role in some of the acts of violence. For instance, of course, parents can't monitor every little thing that we do, and sometimes there may be a conflict one way or the other on social media, and then they will arrange a meet to work that out physically, and then oftentimes a weapon is introduced, which will in turn lead to some shooting or murder. I know for sure in my precinct a few years ago, we had an issue pop up on social media. The parties agreed to meet with each other and fight it out. of course, a gun was introduced and a 15-year-old female lost her life. So it's definitely an issue that we see in our community. And that's just one of the reasons why, to go along with, of course, we're here for bullying. Sometimes that plays a factor.
Yes.
And oftentimes it's the victim of the bullying that responds to the bullier.
Yes.
And that's another issue that we'll see.
Yes. Now, bullying is linked to violence in most cases, like you just stated, where some victims take aim, like you just stated, against their bully. Now, what is some advice to parents and the youth on how to respond to bullying instead of resorting to violence?
Well, I think oftentimes in the community, people see counseling as a taboo thing. We do have victim intervention program with the police department where we counsel victims of violent crime, because what we'll tend to see is a victim of a robbery or a victim of a shooting who knows who that aggressor was, they will go out seeking out that person to retaliate. Oftentimes when we go to take the report, the victim won't even tell us what took place because they already have a plan to go retaliate. So that's an issue that we see is the back and forth. And we've been fortunate. Sometimes we won't have a shooting for many, many days or close to a month and everything will be fine. But as soon as we have that one, we can expect that there's going to be a retaliation to that. So it's always a challenge in law enforcement, but oftentimes it's what can we do as a community, as a family, with nonprofits, government, church, and all these different entities coming together and trying to work out a solution to that problem.
That makes so much sense. Okay. Now, do you recommend filing a police report within their local precinct in cases such as you have tried all measures and nothing has worked?
Well, for me, I feel like it depends on the age. I mean, if you're talking about an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, I think the school should be equipped enough to be able to deal with 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds, and the adults in the situation should be able to work something out. I think it'll get a little tougher when it comes to the 16, 17-year-olds. Weapons involved. There's an assault involved. Some kids go to the hospital because that actually happens, and that's when you'll typically want to look at taking the law enforcement route. It's unfortunate that kids have to go through this, but I was just talking to someone earlier, and I feel like everyone has probably had some experience with a bully, whether it's you've witnessed it, you've been the victim of it at some point in your life. And you just have to think, how did I mitigate that situation, and how would I best mitigate that situation in the future and give advice to someone else to do that.
That's right. I think we have time for one more question. Now, experts state that nearly 60% of bullies will be arrested before the age of 24. Now, bullies' landing place is prison. At the end of the day, if you don't stop what you're doing, it's always going to end up into a situation that you don't want. Okay. While the victims suffer from depression or attempt suicide, what are some of the key pointers you would give to youth on how to avoid imprisonment and focus on a path to having a successful lifestyle? Give it to us real quick.
Well, I just feel like they need to think about other people. And in society today, oftentimes we're only thinking about ourselves and how we want to be treated. There's a website called stopbullying.gov, and it talks about things that kids can do to address the bullying issue, but you don't want to stand around and laugh at the bully's jokes and those kinds of things. You just, and even as a bully, if I was a bully, I might not recognize that I'm doing that. Yes. So hopefully I answered your question.
Yes, you did. Now, real quick before we end this segment, do you think that all the things that we discussed today applies to adults as well who are involved in a domestic violence situation?
Yes, and that's one of the most underreported crimes that we have is domestic violence situations. We have more than 20,000 domestic violence calls per year in Nashville. I mean, think about that, over 20,000. And so yes, that does happen.
Okay. Well, this concludes our segment, Road to Incarceration. Commander Grace, North Precinct, Nashville, thank you for being with us on the show, and we hope that you will continue to be a part of this show.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am.
Am I my sister's keeper? Yes, I am. Each day we pass each other by. Most times we never say hi or ask someone how you doing. You never know what the mind's consuming. You see these changes, see people going crazy. That's why it's up to you and I to brighten up someone else's life. Oh, am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. With all that is against us, we'll help each other stand. Am I my sister's keeper? Yes, I am. With the enemies against us, we'll help each other stand. On me you can depend. Let me ask you all a question. Has the whole wide world gone crazy? Why? Cause hatred's inside so many. This land is God's land. Land is your land. This land is my land. For every boy, girl, woman, and man. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Think about it. With all that is against us, we'll help each other stand. Am I my sister's keeper? Yes, I am. With the enemies against us, we'll help each other stand. On me you can depend. Ain't it strange how we relate to each other when a disaster shows up? Ain't it strange how a disaster can produce so much love? Can't you see that it's human nature and it's within all of us? Lets you know we're not so different, like brothers and sisters. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Oh. With all that is against us, we'll help each other stand. Ooh. Am I my sister's keeper? Yes, I am. Oh, yeah. With the enemies against us, we'll help each other stand. On me you can depend. Well, this concludes another show. We hope that you all have had a great time with us here at Fighting Against Bullying. And remember to be nice to someone. Spread love. You are your brothers and sisters' keeper. Thank you. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. With all that is against us, we'll help each other stand. Am I my sister's keeper? Yes, I am.